supposedly is between 18% and 20% of what you spend at the restaurant is what you're supposed to tip. But in the Philippines, it's totally opposite. You don't have to tip. It's not a... Maganda umaga, folks. Good morning. How are you? I'm coming to you from Louisville, Kentucky. This is my good friend here, Taco. He has to be next to his papa. He's a good boy. I name him after my restaurant, Lolita's Taco, so I figured I'd just call him Taco. He's a good boy. But anyways, I want to talk about a subject that was pretty popular on one of my videos about wages, of what Philippine wages cost compared to the US. And I'm going to start with higher wages this time. And according to the Occupational Wage Survey, average monthly salary in the Philippines is 18,400 pesos, which is $320. And I don't think it's that high. I mean, unfortunately, I don't. I wish it was, but I believe it's a lot lower. I think the average is 12,500 pesos a month, which is what a fast food or any type of job like that makes, which is $225 a month. I don't believe it's 320. Maybe higher paying positions might be, but I don't think that's what the right average is. So I'm giving you what I believe, which is 12,500 pesos a month for an average fast food worker. But let's start with the higher paying jobs anyways. Most paid jobs in the Philippines, like medical professionals, doctors, practitioners, surgeons, are among the highest paid. It can range from 1.5 million pesos to 3 million pesos per year, depending, of course, on their specialization and their experience. In the US, it's over 200,000 American dollars plus, which is 11 million pesos easily for those type of jobs. Now, technology managers, they range between 1.2 million pesos and 2.5 million pesos in the Philippines. And the US, it's about $130,000 or over 7 million pesos a year. That's in the US easily. Engineers in the Philippines, they make around 800,000 pesos a year to 2 million pesos a year. So it's in between 1 million and 2 million pesos a year for an engineer. And the US, it's 86,000 plus per year, which I believe to be a lot higher depending on the engineer. So we're talking about 5 million pesos a year in the US. Investment bankers in the Philippines, it's about 1 million pesos a year plus. In the US, easily $200,000 a year, which is 11 million pesos a year, and which I think it'd be a little higher anyways. So 11 million pesos a year for investment bankers. Legal professionals like lawyers, especially those in corporate law in the Philippines, they make between 1 and 2 million pesos a year, which here in the US is easily over $80,000, which is over 5 million pesos a year easily for legal professionals. Now, a pilot in the Philippines makes between 1.2 million and 2 million pesos a year, depending on the airline and the experience. In the US, 150,000 plus a year, American dollars, of course, with experience also, which is over 8 million pesos a year compared to the Philippines, which is the high end of 2 million peso per year. Now, mathematicians, financial risk managers. In the Philippines, they make 1.2 million pesos. In the US, $100,000 plus, which is 5.5 million pesos a year, easily. Now, mining engineers, like chemical manufacturing process, in the Philippines, they make between 900,000 pesos and 1.8 million pesos per year. In the US, it starts out of $100,000 plus, which is 5.5 million pesos plus a year for mining professionals like engineers and chemical manufacturing. Now, information technology, IT specialist in the Philippines, it's between 600,000 pesos to 1.5 million pesos per year. In the US, it's easily $90,000 plus, or over 5 million pesos per year for ITs. An architect in the Philippines, it's okay, Taco, they make between 600,000 pesos to 1.2 million pesos per year for an architect in the Philippines. In the US, it's easily $100,000 plus, which is 5.5 million pesos per year, easily for an architect in the US. Now, again, on the lower paying jobs, I did mention on my first video, fast food, which I believe doesn't exceed what they're showing here on the wages, but they're making about 140,000 pesos a year for fast food workers. And here in the US, it's $25,000 a year, which is 1.375 thousand pesos per year for fast food here. Now, host and hostess here in the Philippines, it's 200,000 pesos per year. In the US, it's $26,000 a year, which is 1.430 pesos per year. So almost 1.5 million pesos per year for hosts and hostesses. Amusement park attendants in the Philippines, they make about 150,000 pesos per year. And the US is $26,000 a year, which is almost 1.5 million pesos per year compared to 150,000 pesos in the Philippines. Cashiers in the Philippines, they make around 180,000 pesos per year, which in the US is around $27,000 per year, which is about 1.5 million pesos per year. A dishwasher in the Philippines, which I believe it can't be this high, but they show 150,000 pesos per year for dishwasher in the Philippines. In the US, is $27,000 per year, which is another 1.5 million pesos per year here for a dishwasher in the US. Childcare providers, it shows 200,000 pesos per year in the Philippines. Here in the US is $28,000 a year, which is 1,540,000 pesos a year here for a childcare provider or daycare worker. Now, mail carriers in the US, mail carriers in the Philippines, they make around 300,000 pesos a year. Here in the US, it's 45,000 plus per year, $45,000 plus per year, which is almost 2.5 million pesos a year for a mail carrier. Bus drivers, like Victory Liners, the drivers make 300,000 pesos per year for a bus driver. Here in the US, they make around $58,000 a year, which is 3,190,000 pesos per year for a bus driver, compared to a bus driver in the Philippines. A taxi driver in the Philippines, of course, depending how much they hustle, but in the Philippines, a taxi driver makes around 250,000 pesos per year. Here in the U.S., it's easily 40,000 American dollars plus, which is 2,200,000 pesos per year for a taxi driver here in the U.S. Now, a truck driver in the Philippines, they make around, and I'm talking about heavy duty truck drivers, like 18-wheelers, the big truck drivers. In the Philippines, they make around 400,000 pesos per year. Here in the U.S., it's easily over 50,000 American dollars plus, easily, which I know it could reach even past 100,000 American dollars per year, which is close to 3 million pesos per year for a truck driver. And it's easily 3 million pesos and over for a U.S. truck driver here in the Philippines. Now, I know I'm a concrete truck driver. I deliver concrete. And I know in the Philippines that they make around, let me calculate it, $25 a day for a truck driver in the Philippines, which is 1,375 pesos a day. Now, if you multiply that 1,375 times, let's say, a 26-day work week, they make around 35,000 pesos a month, and I'm making that easily way over that. I don't want to say, but what they make in a whole day for a concrete driver, which is $25 a day, I'm making that per hour, easily per hour, which is crazy. So those are the higher end wages that I wanted to show you compared to some of the lower wages that I didn't talk about on my other video. But please let me know what you think. So again, excuse me. The money that we take here from the U.S. and move to the Philippines, our money is worth a lot of money here going to the Philippines, and the wages in the Philippines are a lot lower. And I can't stress more than I always do is, if you're going to move to the Philippines, help out. You have a lot of money if you're bringing it from the U.S. or other rich countries. Help out, help your Filipino community. Give $1, give $2. It's nothing compared to what it is compared to them. 100 pesos is $2. You can afford to give away 100 or 200 pesos sometimes to somebody that needs it, or tip. Restaurants in the Philippines, you don't have to tip. My Filipina says that you don't really have to tip, and whenever I tip 100 pesos or more, she looks at me like it's too much. She believes that 50 pesos is a good tip for a waitress in the restaurants because they're already getting full paying salaries. It's not like in the U.S. where waitresses get not even minimum wage. They get paid $2.25 an hour. So it's a custom in the U.S. that we pay their salary by tipping. So supposedly it's between 18% and 20% of what you spend at the restaurant is what you're supposed to tip. But in the Philippines, it's totally opposite. You don't have to tip. It's not a custom. But you as an American or a rich expat, I believe you should tip. Granted, maybe not like we're used to tipping in the US, which is 20%. So if you spend $100 in a meal, you're talking about what, $20 tip, which is way too much in the Philippines, but you're not going to spend $100 in a meal. I think me and Jen, at the most, we spent one time $40 of a good meal, which was over 2,000 pesos for a good dinner that me and Jen spent. And I know you won't do that often in the Philippines, spend over $2,000 for food, which is the high end. But, you know, I would tip maybe 100, 200 pesos for that. Again, Jennifer thinks that's too much, but I'm kind of used to tipping in the US 20% all the time, if not a little more, depending on the service. But again, folks, that's the breakdown. If you feel that I'm wrong, go ahead and write me. But I'm pretty close to what the average is. It's not a whole lot of money that they make in the Philippines. Of course, cost of living is lower in the Philippines, but it is what it is. I want to thank all my subscribers. Thank you for watching my videos. I want to thank everybody in the US and in the Philippines, my Philippine people. God bless you all. God bless everybody. Be kind, be generous. If you can give, please give $1 or $2. It can help out a family in the Philippines. Again, be kind to everybody. Do unto others what you want them to do to you. God bless everybody. Hasta la vista, sayonara, arrivederci, palam palam, etc., etc. And folks, like they say in other channels, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, ding, 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 and like. Thank you, folks. Hasta la vista. Thank you. God bless everybody. Adios.